Hey, beloved, how you doing? Hold on for 1 second. Hold on. All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Amadai TV, More Than Meets the Third Eye. I'm your host, Queen Amadai Shakur. Okay, so as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and like and share this video. Like and share the video. So you all want to do trivia today? Let me get my camera situated. Hold on. And turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay. All right. So let's get ready to get into it. Okay, so give people a chance to get in here. Now, so one's in the chat if you all want to have trivia today real quick after the broadcast. One's in the chat. I'm giving away a couple of more ebooks. Kathy, I see you talking about one. You already got all the ebooks you can stand.
Okay. All right, so we're going to have it again. Myth the King, the Dean said, you're driving. Okay, beloved. Okay, so I guess we'll have trivia at the end. I'll ask a couple of questions, okay? Maybe 3 or 4. All right, so with that all being said, let's get into it. You all get those likes up. Get those likes up, beloveds. Let me pull up my receipts. So first things first. Today, I'm going to be talking about 8 things that people should be doing, 8 behaviors one should be displaying, okay? These 8 behavior patterns to get ahead in life. And then after that, I'm going to tell you about 6 things to do on your spiritual journey. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right, so shout out to everyone in the chat. Y'all know I love my star dusters. Okay, so And just for your FYI, we're going to be live on here again tomorrow. Okay, we're going to be live on here again tomorrow at the same time. All right? So let's go ahead and get it started. Now, first things first. So people who always seem to get ahead in life, they tend to display these 8 patterns of behavior. So in the journey of life, some people always seem to be a few steps ahead of others. And some people may wonder why. But I've observed many a times, different things that these individuals do that the people who are not ahead, the people who seem to be stuck and stagnant, they don't have these patterns of behavior. Okay. These people who get ahead, they have a very distinct way of navigating life. And so one thing about them is they embrace change. You see, some people don't like to change. They like to stay stuck in the same thing they've always been doing. In fact, many times we've probably all at some point in our lives been guilty of being complacent. Okay, being complacent. Just fine with doing the same old thing that you've always done. Well, the problem with that is if you always do what you've always done, how do you elevate yourself? How do you evolve into the person that you're truly supposed to be? You see, with everything, there's supposed to come change. And if you think about the video that I showed you of Cat Williams when he was on the Larry King live show, and Larry King asked him, what's the worst advice you've ever been given? And he said, don't ever change. Now, that sounds good to most people. I'm quite sure when people say, oh, don't ever change, people feel like that means I'm good the way I am, and I should stay the same. No, in fact, you shouldn't. We should always be changing and ever evolving because like I tell you all the time, there's always room for improvement. So no matter how good we get, how much knowledge we acquire, we should always still be trying to constantly evolve and gain more knowledge and achieve different goals. When you set goals and you reach them, and then set another goal and reach that one. There should always be something that we're looking forward to doing actively. And this is why some people stay steps ahead. And these people also tend to make different plans. See, they don't just get caught up with one plan. And then if it goes wrong, it falls through. And then now they're just stuck and they don't know what to do. They always have a plan A, B, and even C. Okay, please pay attention. This is why they stay ahead. Okay, so the first thing is embrace change because change is a constant part of our lives. Okay, yet so many people seem to resist it. They don't want to, and this is the reason why some people stay in bad relationships because they don't want to go out and strike it off on their own and look for someone new because they don't want to change. Okay, or they don't want things to change. Like they're so complacent with the way things are every day, this little mundane life that some of them live. It may be an exciting life, but nonetheless, they don't want it to change. And many people fear change, okay? And some people just fear change. But embracing change is not about being reckless or impulsive, okay? It's about understanding that life is a journey filled with twists and turns. And navigating those turns can lead to a more fulfilling life. All right, and that's the attitude you should have to propel yourself ahead in the game of life. Please pay attention. Now, the next thing is understand yourself and your core values. Understand yourself and your core values because this trait is one that successful people definitely have. They have a deep understanding of themselves and their values, and they won't allow people to compromise them because they know who they are and they're sure of themselves. And so, in many years, I found that there are some people who truly, don't know who they are, and they have identity crises. And these are people who often tend to copy others, what other people do. They try to dress like other people. They try to use the talking points and use different phrases and words that other people that they know around them use, because they really haven't found themselves. They don't know who they are. And I say they suffer from identity crisis, because if you don't know who you are, then how can you truly be who you're meant to be? So, and they also lack originality and authenticity. That's why they love to do what they see other people doing, because they don't even have freedom of thought. They don't have original ideas very often. Now, Carl Jung, you all remember I talked to you about Carl Jung. He's one of the people that I study his research. Now, he said, who looks outside dreams, but who looks inside awakes. I want y'all to pay attention. Let me say that again for the people in the back, okay? Who looks outside dreams, but who looks inside awakes. All right? And so, you see, these people who get ahead, they have a clear sense of what's important to them, which then allows them to make decisions that align with their deepest beliefs and aspirations. And I told you all before that people always say, oh, I'm going to follow my dreams. And I said, don't say that. Let's try to stop saying that. I know sometimes we still say it, even I do, but I try not to say it, because when we say let's follow our dreams, that means you're asleep, right? You dream when you're asleep. If you're awakened and you're enlightened, then let's just say we're chasing our goals, okay? We're trying to accomplish our endeavors. Say those things. Now, it's a powerful quote from Carl Jung, about he who looks outside dreams and he who looks inside awakens. It's a powerful quote, because it's perfectly encapsulating the importance of self-understanding and introspection. The more we understand ourselves, the better equipped we are to navigate life and shape it in a way that resonates with our core values. And honestly, this is something that me and my boyfriend talk about all the time. He's always talking about core beliefs. He's always talking about my core beliefs. And he says your core beliefs are an integral part of your personality. And this is true. Think about it. Your core beliefs, your core values, and those things, they are a huge portion of your personality. And they're often hard to change. Because here's the thing, beliefs, those are things that can change, right? But sometimes we get stuck in our beliefs. Sometimes we get bogged down with our own beliefs. And then so when someone shows us something different, even if they have the evidence, proof, and receipts, it just looks to us like, nah, I don't want to do that. This is what I think right here. This is what I'm used to. You see, that's called cognitive dissonance. At the end of the day, think about this. Think about Christianity, for example. And I like to use Christians as an example because Christians are very set in their beliefs. And when someone comes along like me and starts telling them, well, the Bible is full of allegories. Those are allegorical stories. You're not supposed to take the Bible literally. Some of those stories have hidden meanings. It even tells you in the book of Galatians. Some people don't want to hear that. Thank you, lovely Cherokee, for your super chat donation, beloved. Peace and blessings to you. Now, some people don't want to hear that because they feel like, no, I was raised in the church and the pastor told me this is what the Bible means and that's what I'm going to stick to. And you sound crazy talking about it's allegorical. But in real life, doesn't it sound crazy when someone tells you that Jonah got swallowed by a whale and he stayed in the belly of the whale for 3 whole days? Or when they tell you Noah brought all of those animals onto the ark? And the funny thing about that story is, and if you didn't see the story where I broke down the esoteric meaning of the story of Noah's ark, please go back and watch. But here's the thing that's interesting too. When people, specifically church people, talk about the story of Noah, they always say that Noah brought 2 of each animal onto the ark. They never say the entire scripture. Because what it really says is that he brought 7 of each clean animal and 2 of each unclean. Okay? Now, in real life, those represent things that we have within ourselves, our personality traits. Okay? Our spiritual gifts, the good things about us, those are the clean. The clean animals, the 7 clean animals represents that. The things inside of us that are good, that are righteous, the good parts of ourselves. And the 2 of each unclean animals, well, that's basically their bad habits, the things that we do that we should not indulge in. So that's what all it's indicative of. But you can't tell some Christians that because they will argue you down. So I just quit trying. I just quit trying. Now, if they come and ask me, I will, but I don't want to tick anybody off, and I don't want to make anyone think that I'm going in on their religion, because I'm clearly not. Because Christians have some good things that I absolutely like, but it's just that I have a different interpretation of the Bible than most of them. And let's not forget, I used to be a Christian too. Okay? I used to be a Christian too. I was raised in Christianity. That's all I knew. Okay? And then when I started learning the truth, well, that's when I realized how deep-rooted the indoctrination actually is. Okay? Nanny said, interesting, 7 of each clean and 2 of each unclean. Yes, that's what it says, beloved. That's what it says. You know, some people go to church, but they don't really read that Bible. That Bible is sitting up on the mantle collecting dust until they go to church on Sunday, and then the pastor tells them, open it to the 91st Psalm, or to Psalm 91. And then they open it, and then the pastor reads it to them, and then tells them what it means. You see, but the Bible says, study to show thyself approved. So if you want to show yourself approved to the Most High, then you need to be studying and doing the work and the research yourself. Don't let the pastor or anyone else interpret it to you. You see, it's about your own understanding, right? That's how that goes. So please pay attention. Now, understanding oneself is not just about self-improvement. It's also about building a life aligned with who you truly are. That's why I say some people who don't do that, they don't understand themselves, they clearly have identity crises, okay? And they take little bits and pieces of people that are around them. They see things that they like about this person and that person, so they just mimic those things. That's not authentic, and that's not really them, okay? And sooner or later, the little sham that they're pulling on people falls apart. And it's this alignment when we understand ourselves that often leads to lasting success and fulfillment. And the third thing is set meaningful goals. Okay, so let's just be honest. Now, setting goals can be a daunting task, right? We set goals sometimes, and then we forget we set it. Let me tell you when y'all specifically do it. Not me, because I don't celebrate the various holidays. But most people set goals on New Year's Eve. They're like, oh, it's a new year. I'm going to make a New Year's resolution. So this year, I'm going to do this. And that lasts for about a week, maybe 2 in some cases, but usually about a week. And then after that week, they're not even thinking about that resolution, okay? They're not even thinking about the goal that they just set. It just sounded good and felt good to say it. But then they fall right back into their old habits, because guess what? It's very easy to fall back into old habits, and that's why we have habits. And here's the thing. Those of you who saw the video that I did about the power of the unconscious or the subconscious mind, and if you didn't see it, please go back and watch. But if you saw that video, you know that I told you that it takes approximately about 265 days to get out of certain bad habits, okay? Because we are so used to doing the same thing over and over and over. And it's hard to break bad habits. That's really true. And so sometimes it takes at least 200 some days. And some people, well, they can't even do it in that length of time. Please pay attention. And so setting goals, right? Meaningful goals. You know, it's easy to fall into the trap of setting a vague or unattainable goal, or even worse, not setting goals at all. And some people don't even set goals because they don't even have any high hopes. But however, those who consistently get ahead in life understand the importance of setting meaningful and realistic goals. Like, okay, let me give you an example. I saw someone on YouTube about 2 years ago, and they said they were going to lose all this weight in about 5 or 6 months. And I said to myself, well, they must not realize how hard it is to lose weight, for one. And they definitely must not realize how difficult it is for most people to discipline themselves to do every little thing you need to do to lose the weight. Eating healthy, working out, drinking lots of water, abstaining from things like alcohol, right? Staying away from dairy, watching your carbs. You have to do all that and then some. So that takes a lot. And I said, now, I doubt they're going to lose all that weight in 6 months. That's a very unrealistic goal. They wanted to lose like 50 pounds. Do you know what kind of discipline it would take for you to attempt to lose 50 whole pounds in a period of 6 months? I'm not saying that nobody can do it, because some people actually can, but most people absolutely can't. Okay? And how do you know? Well, because you can tell who lacks discipline just from the amount of weight that they gain in the first place. So, not that you can't discipline yourself, but you can clearly tell that it will likely be harder for them. I mean, discipline is hard for most people. It's hard for me to discipline myself to do certain things. And let me just make a confession, beloveds. I was never going to tell you all this, but actually, in reality, the queen is a recovering procrastinator. Yes, I said it. I said it. I'm a recovering procrastinator, people. Please pay attention. I'm one of those people who used to always put off for tomorrow what clearly could have been done today. I'm like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow comes, okay, I'm going to wait till the weekend because I'll have time. And then the weekend gets here and I find someone to do, okay, I'll start next week. That used to be me. Okay. Oh, Kathy said, you told us before. Okay. Well, I already confessed. So with that all being said, it's not always easy for us to discipline ourselves. You know, to discipline yourself to do certain things takes extreme mind control. You have to be able to control your mind and the thoughts that flow through it. I remember on yesterday, for those of you who missed it, please go back and watch, when I talked about how when you meditate, you're dealing with the conscious awareness, right? And the conscious attention. And so you have to be able to really understand yourself to do certain things, specifically losing weight. And why is losing weight one of the hardest things to discipline ourselves to do? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because we love to eat. Who doesn't like to eat? I want to eat right now. I want to eat right. I'm hungry right now, literally. I can't wait till this is over. But at the end of the day, seriously, losing weight is one of the hardest things for people to do, for most people. You know, aside from illegal substances, if they're addicted to something like that, or alcoholism, things like that. But other than that, the main thing that's hard for people to stop doing is eating, overeating, because food is so good, right? And so you have to discipline yourself. You absolutely have to. And so that's why I say, when that person said they're going to lose all this weight in 6 months, I'm like, it's not going to happen. And guess what? 6 months came and went, and they still the same size. But I digress. They're still the same size. So with that all being said, now, those who consistently stay ahead, they understand the importance of setting realistic goals. And they don't just aim for the stars without a roadmap, you see. Instead, they break down their big dreams into smaller, actionable steps. You see, that's why it's good to make small-term goals. Not all goals have to be like, you know, just big, something drastic. You can take baby steps, right? And, you know, in fact, you should likely start, if you're a person who has a problem disciplining yourself and following through with things that you set up to do, then you should definitely start with small goals. Say, for example, let me give an example. So if you want to go on a vegan diet, but you really, you know, can't just get away from meat and dairy yet or something like that, I'm just giving an example. Well, you could say, instead of just trying to go full on vegan, you could say, okay, this week, I'm not going to eat any meat for a week. And then once you make it through that week, say, okay, I did it. Well, next week, I'm going to not eat meat again. And then you keep going and you keep going until finally you just don't eat meat. You don't even crave it. That's what you can do instead of just saying, you know what, okay, I'm going to stop eating meat and I'm just going to eat this. And then you find yourself falling off the wagon. In those cases, not everyone, but some people do, because that's almost, it's almost impossible for some people. And then I'll tell you something else. Speaking of that, there are some people, 7-day Adventists, because I have a friend that's 7-day Adventist. Now, they don't eat meats. So I remember I was talking to my holistic doctor one day, and my holistic doctor said to me, he said that these 7-day Adventists invited him to dinner or something. They were having like a dinner party or something, and he eats really healthy. Shout out to Dr. Andre if you're listening. He's South African. He's a white South African, but of German descent. But anyway, I've known him for years. My favorite holistic doctor. But nonetheless, so he eats really healthy. And it shows, because he's like 74 years old now and he doesn't look it. And he's still running his practice. But he was telling me that these 7-day Adventists invited him to a dinner. And so he's thinking, okay, it's going to be some good healthy food because they don't eat meat and I don't eat meat. And he gets there and he said they didn't have any meat. But they had all these cakes and pies and cookies and candy. All right. And honey buns. They had all this stuff. And he said he always thought that they ate so healthy because they don't eat meat. But no, some people just don't eat meat. But they eat all the other BS. So I'm sorry. Make sense. And so, needless to say, he didn't hardly eat anything there. Okay? He didn't hardly eat anything there. But anyway, I digress. Let me get back on topic. So that all being said, now, these people understand a goal without a plan is just a wish. Okay? And what did your parents teach you when you were kids? Wish in one hand and you know what to do in the other. Okay? So they don't shy away from the hard work that comes with pursuing a goal. They know it's the small, everyday steps that lead to big achievements. And let me give you another example of someone setting unrealistic goals. I had someone one time say that they're going to make $1 million in a year. They're like, oh yeah, by next year I'm going to be a millionaire. What? You're going to be a millionaire in a year? First of all, when people say stuff like that, I always ask myself, are they thinking that they're going to find a magic lantern with a genie in it? They're just going to rub it and the genie's going to grant them a wish? Or do they think that they're going to hit the lottery and the money's just going to fall out of the sky or something? Because here's the thing. At the end of the day, if you want to be a millionaire in a year, don't you think you need to get working like right now? Don't you think you need to have a game plan? It's unrealistic when people talk about things they're going to do and goals that they set, and they don't even have a roadmap. They don't even have a game plan. They have no idea how they're going to do it. And they think that just because they said it, that it's going to come true. Well, no. Manifestation and visualization do work, but you have to be doing the work. You have to be doing the work and you have to be consistent in your manifestations. You can't just say something once and then it's just going to happen. I told you, consistency is key. And you also have to be doing the work. Okay? If you want a better job, well, you're not going to have one just fall in your lap. Nobody's just going to blow up your phone and say, hey, we're looking for somebody for this job. You want to come get it? No, you have to be out there pounding the pavement. You have to be out there putting in your resume, filling out applications, and doing those things, going to interviews, those things. People say things that make no sense. And in fact, it's nonsensical. And they don't even realize it. And many of them have good intentions, but they just don't realize what they're saying, because sometimes we all say ridiculous things. Okay, please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, a life without goals is like a ship without a compass. It's aimless and directionless. And so you should take the time to set meaningful goals for your life and make sure you know the surest path to get ahead. Now, the fourth one is take the wheel. Some of y'all don't take the wheel. Y'all want to call on Jesus. Jesus, take the wheel. But Jesus gave you, put you in the driver's seat, right? Fix it, Jesus. Well, Jesus gave you 2 hands so you can fix it. God gave you 2 hands and a mind so you can fix things and solve your own problems. But some people, they don't ever solve problems. They don't even try. All they do is complain about the problems and then go pray to God so God can fix it. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. One thing that I'm sure we all learned as children is God helps those who help themselves. Okay. At the end of the day, you can really answer your own prayers. You can really answer your own prayers. If you manifest and visualize and put in the work, you create your own reality. So you can literally, and you're all God's born of the Most High. All right. Psalm 82:6. So you're a God yourself. And so you can actually answer your own prayers through manifestation and visualization, okay, and work. Now, life can feel like a roller coaster at times. You have your ups and downs, even emotionally, right? Not just physically, or not just with finances and things like that. But it may seem like you're just being thrown around by circumstances beyond your control. But here's the raw truth, okay? Those who get ahead in life are the ones who take the wheel. They're the ones who go out there and they're very active and hands-on. They're the ones who take initiative. Let me give you an example. I'm sorry, I have to keep giving you all these examples because I've been through these things. So when I was in college, right? When I was in college, I always, I graduated with honors. I always made all A's. I made 2 B's in the entire time I was in college, working my way up to my PhD. I made 2 B's. Those 2 B's I made in math because I hate math. I've always hated math. I just hate it. So I made a B in statistics and quantitative methods. Okay. And here's the thing. I likely could have even made A's in those, but for the fact that when I was working on my master's, I was supposed to take both of those math courses and my counselor didn't tell me. So by the time it's getting close for me to graduate, she says, oh, you've got to take 2 more math classes, statistics and quantitative methods. And I'm like, okay. And then she says, but wait, you're supposed to have already taken statistics because that's the prerequisite for the quantitative methods. And so now you don't have time because you're going to be graduating in a few months. So you're going to have to take them both at the same time. And she was like, which is going to be really hard because you need to know the one so you can know the other. Okay. And so I ended up taking the statistics class on Wednesday nights from 6 to 10. That's the only class they had available. 6 at night to 10 at night. Then on Saturday, I had to go take the quantitative methods class. Now, I haven't even learned all the statistics yet, but I got to take this. Nevertheless, I passed. I made an 86 in the statistics class, and in the other class, I ended up making like an 88. My point is, I was dedicated and determined, okay? And it was hard. The quantitative methods was extremely hard because I hadn't finished learning statistics. So you know what I did? I had a plan. So I got people in the class who were smart, okay, who were good at statistics. And I said, hey, let's get a study group. We could study at my house through the week. And so that's what we did. So I would invite these 3 people over and we would study and they would help me and we would do our work together and I would have snacks and stuff like that. See, that's what you do. That's what you do. Now, meanwhile, see, that was me taking initiative. That's why I graduated, okay? I graduated with honors. And here's the thing. There are some people in college who don't take initiative. They don't understand. And even if you try to teach them, that's not going to help because they don't want to take the time out to learn and study. So you know what those people would do? They would pay people like me to do their work. And I would do it because I needed the cash. I had to make my coins. So that was my side hustle the entire time I was in college. I was doing people's work and charging them hundreds of dollars to do so. And they would get A's, but at the end of the day, they really didn't have the knowledge. And so where are they now? Well, they're not. All of them are not working in their field. And that's why. Because even though you made the grades, you really didn't have the information that you needed because you didn't learn it for yourself. And so when you went out into the workforce, you fell short. That's all I'm saying. You fell short, that's all I'm saying. Ladybug said, yes, I took the statistics in graduate school first time and made a B. Yeah, that's good if you made a B on it because that's what I'm telling you. I made an 86. And I hate math. I absolutely hate math. Okay, I just want y'all to pay attention. I have never liked math, ever. But anyway, so those are the only 2 B's I made. So let me continue. Now, with that all been said, now, listen. Y'all have to stop me sometimes. I get up here babbling, telling y'all these examples and stories. I'm starting to sound like Tyron Turner when he was talking about that relationship that man asked him about. He went to babbling so long, we forgot what the question even was. Please pay attention. And so with that all being said, now taking control of your life doesn't mean that you can prevent every bump or curve on the road. Okay, it means accepting that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. Successful individuals don't play the victim card. Okay, they don't let life's challenges dictate their path. They steer their own ship. They navigate through the storm and chart their own course. Now that reminds me of a video that I did on TikTok when I was doing videos on those nursery rhymes. I'm sorry, I got to cut my fan on. My heat's up a little too high. So if you all remember the video that I did, and I'm not going to show it because I had music in the background and I don't want YouTube to not monetize this video. So, but anyway, you all remember I talked about the nursery rhyme, row, row, row your boats. And I told you exactly what that meant, what the real meaning of it was. Okay, so this reminds me of that because you are supposed to be the captain of your own ship. So that means when things aren't going the way you want them to go, when you're having problems, when there's bumps in the road, when the waves are crashing and tossing your ship about, you have to take control of the ship. Can't get someone else to do it. You have to do it yourself so you can go the course. And it's not always easy. It's not always comfortable. But taking responsibility for your own life is empowering. Some people want to always play the victim card. Oh, woe is me. They want to have a whining party. Well, I live in a no whining zone, so I'm not here for it, okay? It gives you the ability to shape your destiny rather than leaving it to chance. Take the wheel. Decide where you want to go and start steering in that direction. And you might be surprised at how far you find yourself going, you know, and you are in control. And I want you to think about this too. Do you all remember, this just popped into my head. Do you all remember on the movie with Terrence Howard? When we're talking about steering and taking the wheel, it just made me think about Hustle and Flow. Remember in Hustle and Flow when Terrence Howard told Taryn Manning's character, I forget her name in the movie, but the actress Taryn Manning, remember when he told her to put her hands on the steering wheel? And he said, you in control. Remember that? You're in control. Say it loud. I'm in control. Y'all remember that part? Okay, so yes, that's what y'all need to remember when things start going the wrong way for you. They're not going quite how you want. Take the wheel and get in control. The fifth is journal regularly. How many times have I told you guys that you should keep a journal? Okay, you should keep a journal so you can write down your goals, so you can write down your dreams, and you can write down things that you want to manifest, right? And I'm not talking about dreams like things you want to do. No, I'm literally talking about your dreams that flow through your head at night when you're in a state of REM. Write down your dreams because sometimes the Most High sends us information through our dreams, gives us warnings, gives us ideas and different things through our dreams. Okay, please pay attention. I have a book that's coming out in a few months, still waiting to get it edited. And I edited it myself, but I'm no professional editor. But so anyway, I found someone that's going to edit it for me. But nonetheless, that book, the idea for that book came to me from a dream that I had. Okay? Love the Cherokee said, confirmation, take the wheel. I'm in control. Absolutely. Okay. And you journal every day. That's really good. And that's what you should be doing. Journaling things. And here's the thing too. Don't forget the power of words. If you missed the power of words video, if you go back and watch any video, please go back and watch that one. The power of words. Okay. It's very important. The words that we choose play a very strong role, a huge role in the things that we manifest. People have problems and issues, and their dreams or their goals aren't set, or their prayers aren't answered because of the words that they speak out of their mouths. Someone who wants to make more money and who's having, financial difficulty, they're going to always keep having financial difficulty if they say things like, oh, I'm broke. Oh, I can't make any money. Oh, my job is not paying me enough. When you say those things, that's what keeps happening because the universe can't decipher whether or not you really want that to happen. And here's the thing too. Let me say this, and I think I told you all this yesterday on the live. There was a study done. Actually, I talked about this in the master class. So I'm just going to give y'all a drop of this information. But I was talking about the art of visualization. Now, there was studies done where they took athletes and they had them to think about training and that they were running or whatever the athlete or sport that they participated in. And they had them thinking about doing it. They visualized and saw it in their mind's eye. And then when they checked their brainwave patterns for the people who were just thinking about it against the people who were actually doing it physically, they were the same. They were the same. And why were they the same? Well, because your mind can't decipher whether you're actually doing it or not when you are thinking about it and so focused on it. That's why visualization is so important. It is so very important because the mind is very powerful. And you can't tell me that you can't manifest things when you focus on it and you can picture yourself doing it. And here's another story I'll tell real quick. There was a guy who moved into this huge mansion. It's a really nice house. And he got this nice job and had this fancy car and all this stuff, right? And then when he was unpacking his things, when he got into the new house, his son was helping him. His son was like 5 or 6, and they're pulling stuff out of the boxes. And the son pulls out this thing and shows it to him, says, "Daddy, what's this?" It was a vision board that he made 5 years prior that he'd forgotten all about. And on that vision board, guess what was on there? The same house that he literally moved into. I'm not even joking. Okay? And if you didn't see the story of Jim Carrey, where he wrote himself a check for $10 million and then dated it for Thanksgiving Day of 1995, giving himself 5 years to make $10 million, which is much more realistic than someone saying that they're going to have $1 million in a year and they're not putting in the work. Jim Carrey was putting in the work. He was out getting acting roles and all of that and honing his craft. But almost 5 years to the day, right before Thanksgiving, he got the movie, I think it was Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and they paid him $10 million, okay? So he absolutely manifested that. He kept that check in his wallet for 5 years and looked at it every day. He would go sit on Mulholland Drive and sit in his car, lean back and close his eyes and picture himself living in one of those houses. Now, I'm telling you, if y'all don't think the power of visualization works, you need to think again. But let me continue. So with that all being said, journaling allows you to reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It's a space for you to be honest with yourself, to express your hopes and fears, and to track your personal growth. Now, it can help you gain clarity, understand your patterns of behavior, and make your decisions, okay? Make more conscious decisions, shall I say. And those who consistently get ahead in life often have a regular journaling habit. Okay, they understand that self-awareness is crucial for personal growth and success. And I know this firsthand. Okay, it's very transformative, the power of journaling. And I've been doing it for years. All right, I've been doing it for years. Now, another thing is, number 6, change your habits. Now, of course, we all have habits, some good and some bad. Some serve us well, while others, well, not so much. So the people who consistently get ahead in life, they are those who successfully change the habits that hold them back. The habits that hold them back. Let's talk about it. I'm going to give you all another example. I was watching an interview of Clive Davis once. And I'm sorry, we all know he's nefarious. But nonetheless, I was watching the interview because he was talking about Whitney Houston. And here's something that I didn't really think about with Whitney. I don't know if I ever saw Whitney smoke a cigarette or not. When her and Bobby had that show, maybe I did. I don't know. But in the interview, the guy asked Clive Davis, and this is after Whitney has passed away. And the guy asked Clive Davis, you know, when Whitney did that album, I Run to You, which is one of my favorites, or the song on there, I Run to You. When she did that album, and she went on tour. She had not been on tour in years. And so the guy said that the tour went badly. He asked Clive Davis what happened, because people said her voice was different and she didn't sound like herself. And he said, what's because of her using illegal substances? Clive said, no, she'd stopped doing that. He said her voice was ruined because she started smoking cigarettes. Cigarette smoking will absolutely ruin your voice if you do it consistently. Make your voice sound all rough and scratchy. And I was like, wow, Whitney was smoking cigarettes with that beautiful, smooth, silky voice. And so I remember people going in on her too. I remember people calling the news stations and they were saying they wanted their money back. And I was like, she must have had a bad night. But no, it wasn't just a bad night. Her voice was not up to par. And it was because she smoked cigarettes. So when you're engaging in bad habits that don't serve you, it is very important to shed those. Okay? You need to drop them like a hot potato is all I'm saying. But with determination, patience, and the right strategies, well, you can replace your less productive habits with ones that propel you forward. For example, if you're always rushing in the morning, a new habit could be waking up 30 minutes earlier. This simple change can transform your mornings from stressful to peaceful. Well, sounds like I need to take my own advice on that one. Here's the thing. Nita to Mike's World said, yes, Queen, so true. Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I tend to get up a little extra early some mornings. But sad to say, I'm still late. And here's why I'm late most of the time. Because I gather my receipts. First of all, sometimes I'll gather my receipts at night. But then sometimes in the morning, I'll see another story. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about this. Now I got to get the receipts for that. And then right when I think I'm done gathering receipts, then I see more receipts. And I just can't stop getting those receipts. Sometimes I just cannot stop getting those receipts. And so that's why I be late sometimes, y'all. Lola Cherokee said, I don't allow smoking in my home. I don't smoke. Yeah, I wouldn't allow it in my home either. I hate cigarette smoke. I absolutely hate cigarette smoke. If anything I don't want to smell is that. Luckily, I don't know anybody that I'm close with, in close proximity to, that smokes. So with that all being said, remember that small changes in your daily habits can lead to big changes in your life. It's not about perfection. It's about progression. So take a look at your bad habits and how they're affecting you. And then ask yourself, what can I do to make this better? Okay? Which are the ones holding me back? Ask yourself that. And then make a commitment to start changing one habit at a time. And the seventh thing is find your purpose. So life without purpose can feel empty and unfulfilling. And those who consistently get ahead in life are often driven by a sense of purpose. Mark Twain once said, the two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day that you find out why. So that quote underlines the significance of having a purpose in life. Your purpose is your why. It's the reason why you were born, the reason why you are here. You have a divine purpose. We all do. The Most High didn't just create us and just toss us here just to be here acting a fool or just doing the most. We have purpose in our lives. And we're supposed to figure out what the purpose is. And if you don't know, meditate on it. Ask the Most High to guide you, to show you what your purpose is. Here's how you can have a clue what your purpose is. Your purpose is something that you love to do. You never had to be taught how to do it. You're naturally good at it, and you would do it even if you had to do it for free. Even if you had to do it for free. That is possibly your purpose, because that's something fulfilling, something that you're passionate about. Okay, if you'd even do it for free, that has to be something you're passionate about. And guess what? When you do something that you love to do and you do it from the passion within, then the money will come. That's how that works. So your purpose is your why, and it's what gives meaning to your actions and the direction in your life. It's not about achieving a particular status or material status, but about contributing to something bigger than yourself. And so finding your purpose can be a journey for some people. In most cases, it is a journey for most of us. Okay, it's not always clear cut, and it can evolve over time. But when you find it, it can fuel your motivation, shape your goals, and guide your decisions. And so this is a big part of your journey, finding your purpose. And the eighth thing, and the final thing, is live authentically. Now, this is something that's very counterintuitive, in my opinion. You see, those who consistently get ahead in life are not always the ones trying the hardest to impress. They're the ones living authentically. Okay? Some people worry so much so about what other people think of them and how other people view them and all of that. I don't care. Y'all know I tell you that all the time. Whatever anybody thinks about me is their business. Okay? That's their business. I don't worry about what people think about me because I know what I think of myself. That's why when people try to throw insults, little trolls who get mad about things I say about their favorite YouTuber, if I'm exposing somebody or what, that's why when they say things trying to, hurt my feelings, then they don't bother me. First of all, you're insignificant. Second of all, I don't know you in real life, and so that makes you irrelevant. And you're not a royal, so why do I care what you say or think? Because I don't. And so also, like I said, I have very high self-esteem at the end of the day. And we all should. Because if you don't think highly of yourself, then who will? Right? And so living authentically means being true to who you are. It means not conforming to societal pressures or other people's expectations. It means living in alignment with your values, passions, and your purpose. People who live authentically often find that they attract more opportunities that are good a good fit for them and things that they're looking to do and accomplish. And they build genuine relationships as well, based on trust and support. Because nobody trusts a fake person, okay? And people can see through you. You might think you're fooling people, and you might actually fool people for a while, but sooner than later, well, people start to see the fakeness. And here's the thing. The people that don't see it, well, they're just not that smart. That's all I'm saying. Okay? They make decisions that feel right to them, not just what looks good on paper. All right? So I hope that helps somebody. But now that we've talked about that, well, I jotted down a few things about the spiritual journey. 6 things. And I typed this up. Hold on. Let me pull up my little. Here we go. 6 things that you must understand on your spiritual journey. Now, the first thing is the spiritual path is challenging, but not because the universe is purposely trying to make things difficult for you or trying to give you a hard time. No, but it's because you have a mission. You have a higher calling. And in order to attain a higher state of awareness, well, you must undergo a transformation. And that's an inner transformation. Okay? That's why spirituality is different from religion. Religion comes with a set of rules. It comes with a set of things that they do. In some cases, rituals, like communion, for example. That's a ritual that they do at church. Nothing wrong with it, but I'm just trying to show you the difference between that and spirituality. And so people go to church on Sundays. That's what they do. Except for Seventh-day Adventists, they go on Saturdays. But nonetheless, people in religion have a specific day that they go and give worship. And then they worship together collectively in a group. And the pastor's the main character speaking. And some people, unfortunately, seem to worship the pastor more than they do the Most High. Trust me, I've seen it. Now, with that all being said, people that are spiritual, well, they don't have to be around a group of people. You can be spiritual all by yourself. You can speak with the Most High and have conversations with the Most High by yourself. You don't need anybody to be amening in the corner. And also, you don't need the pastor reading to you from the scripture and then interpreting it for you. You see, people who are spiritual, they go and get the information themselves. Now, you may hear the information from someone, but nonetheless, you learn the information, then you review the information for yourself. That is part of your spiritual awakening. And you receive the information. A lot of people, in fact, go to church just to be in church, just to say they went, because that makes them feel good about themselves, and they think that they did something, and that God is pleased with them. God is pleased with anybody, whether you go to church or not, who is living in their truth and doing what they're supposed to be doing. And as long as you're a good person, well, the Most High will be pleased with you. But the people that go to church for show, well, they're doing that for everybody else. They're also doing that for everybody else. That's what that's all about. And like I said, they have rules and traditions that go along with religion, but spirituality is all about working on your inner self. And then the second thing, now, if you can attach yourself to something, then you can detach yourself from it. And the reason that's important to notice, because some people, they get caught up with thinking that, like, for example, if they're in a relationship and the person and them are not getting along, the person may want out of the relationship, or you may want out. But nonetheless, some people find it very hard to just remove themselves from certain situations. And that's usually because they become complacent. That's because they become codependent. That is because they, don't feel significant or secure on their own in some cases. So anything that you attach yourself to, you can detach yourself from. And you have to just have, the only thing holding you back from doing so is you focusing your attention on it. You always have the power to let go. You just have to be dedicated to doing so. You just have to put forth the effort. And then take your attention off of whatever it is or whomever it is that you've been focusing on that makes you want to stay stuck and attached to that person or that thing. Remove your attention because, it is very hard to get away from something that your attention is steadily focused on. This is why people stalk people. This is why people stalk people when the relationship ends. They can't just go on about their merry way and move on with life. No, they're too busy focusing their attention on that person. And by doing so, that just makes the desire for them to have that person and the need to want to control that person makes it all the more stronger. And then what happens is this. That's when the devil comes in, Satan himself. And he starts whispering in the person's ear and giving this person influential thoughts. And then the person's thinking that it's their own thoughts, but not knowing that they're really being influenced by low vibrational, demonic, or satanic energy. And then the devil starts saying, well, if you can't have them, why should you let anybody else have them? They're supposed to be with you. I mean, look at all the time you spent and all the stuff you did for them, and this is how they want to act? No. Don't let them go out there and be happy with someone else while you're sitting at home miserable. You know what you should do? You should take them out so nobody can have them. And then that's what some people do. You see, that's the devil telling people to do those sorts of things. And when people take themselves out because they came to the pressure, when they take permanent solutions for temporary problems, because troubles don't last always. Whatever you're going through, you're not always going to be going through it. Your problems don't define who you are. And when you have problems, rather than continuously complaining about them, look and search for solutions. Ask a friend, someone who cares about you, for help if you need to. But don't sit around feeling sorry for yourself and gloom and doom, because I promise you, that's when Satan and his minions come and they start talking to you. And you know why they come at that point in time? Well, because at that point in time, you're low vibrational. And so are they. So are they. And so let's not forget that energy is contagious. So they're attracted to your low vibrational energy. So then they come and start whispering in your ear, life's really terrible. Your life's going bad. You lost your job. Your husband's leaving you. You gained too much weight. You can't even lose it. Your kids don't respect you. You might as well just go ahead and take yourself out. Why are you even here? Why would God do this to you? That's when the devil starts talking to you just like he talked to Job in the Bible, telling Job, go ahead and denounce God and go ahead and take yourself to the spiritual realm. That's not how he said it, but that's just what I'm saying. Because remember, Job lost his children, his land, his cattle, not his land, but his cattle and all of that. And the devil was sitting there telling him, you might as well just curse. His wife told him, you might as well curse God and die. Yeah, that's the devil telling you these things, trying to make your bad situation even worse. And here's the thing. If you have a person in your life who makes things worse when you're telling them your problems. They don't uplift you, encourage, motivate, and try to inspire you, but instead they tell you things that make you feel worse. Well, you know it's not going to work out good for you, right? You know he never loved you in the first place. When you have people in your lives doing those things, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Cut them off. Because sometimes the devil sends his minions disguised as the people around us. And that's why you can't tell your business to everybody. See, everybody who smiles in your face and acts like they're your friend, it's not really your friend. And you can tell. And I'm going to tell you how you can tell. Because the minute you do something they don't like, oh, now they get so mad. They either want to cut you off or they want to start talking trash about you. Right? Or they just go off and say stuff to hurt your feelings. See, when somebody really is not your friend, they're just faking it and just acting as they are because maybe it's something about you that they want to be around. You can always tell, because real friends, when you have a disagreement, you can always make up. And it seems like nothing ever happened. Like, I'm going to give you an example. Me and my best friend, my friend Priscilla, I have known Priscilla for over 20 years. I actually have two best friends, but Priscilla I've known the longest. If me and Priscilla get into an argument, we're going to call each other the next day like nothing even happened because we're not even thinking about it because we're like sisters. Because I love her and she loves me, and that's just the way it goes. She's never going to get mad at me and just not want to have anything else to do with me or talk trash about me. She's not going to do that. And nor am I going to do that. That's real friends. But fake friends, they just sit back in the cut waiting for you to do something to tick them off. And then, they're going to let you have it. That's how that goes. And so please pay attention. Nandy said they are both water signs too. I don't know who y'all are talking about. Job lost everything and he was wealthy, says Richard. Yes. But see, Job wasn't caught up in his wealth. He wasn't caught up in the materialistic things because he waited on God. He waited on God. Pay attention. Now, let's talk about the next thing. If you don't like something that you can't change, the only option is taking away the power that keeps you or keeps it existing in your reality. Stop giving it your attention, just like with the last one. If you don't like something that you can't change, the only option is to stop focusing your attention on it. Stop focusing your attention on it, because that's the only thing, your attention that you're giving it is the only thing that allows it to exist in your reality. So don't even think about it. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. The fourth thing is, don't let fear deprive you of bettering your life and yourself. Okay? Don't get caught up in doubts, all I'm saying. Because some people just doubt themselves, and then they deal with people who continuously make them doubt themselves even more by giving them negative reinforcement as opposed to positive reinforcement. If you missed the video about positive reinforcement, or when I talked about how you can tell people that were not given positive reinforcement as kids, if you didn't see that, please go back and watch. I think that was for members only. So if you're not a member, you might not be able to see it. Now, with that all being said, you shouldn't let fear deprive you of bettering yourself. And it's better than, and see, here's the thing. When you let fear deprive you of things, being your best self, living your best life, that's because you're filled with doubt and limitations. You fill yourself with doubt and limitations, and that's why you can't move forward. But it's better to try to do something different than to just sit there and waste your time wondering, I wonder if I could have done this. And then you find yourself years later, you look back at your life and you think about something that you wanted to do at a younger age that you never did. And then you say, man, I wonder if that would have worked out for me. But you allowed your fear at the time to prevent you from even giving it a try. And now you may have to live with regrets. And that's one thing we should never do. Okay, that's one thing we should never do. The fifth thing, evolution requires a sacrifice. Okay, this is true. Anything that's really worth having, sometimes you have to give something to get it. Evolution requires a sacrifice. If you wish to become your best self, You must let go of your current self. You must let go of anything that's stopping you from becoming the best version of you. You must let go of anything that's stopping you from becoming the best version of you. Sometimes that's things in our lives. Sometimes it's actually people. But if there's something or someone that's stopping you from becoming the best version of yourself, get rid of it. And if it's a person, get rid of them. Now, you don't have to cut them completely off, but you can feed them from a long-handled spoon, because if somebody's not doing anything to encourage, motivate, and inspire me, if there's someone who's always talking down, or they're just someone who's always doing something that creates problems for me, because some people that you deal with, their problems can create roadblocks for you. Their problems can cause you to stumble and fall. You might not even have anything to do with it, but the fact that you're around them, because energy, again, is contagious, so they're always getting into trouble, always doing something nefarious, well, that is sooner or later going to rub off on you, okay? Whether you realize it or not. You cannot be around negative, low vibrational people when you're trying to be positive and upbeat. The two don't mix well. I know you all remember that story I told you about when I was in college and I was working during security and I was trying to make me some extra cash. So I did some overtime at this specific account. And I only worked there twice. The second time I came there, I met this young lady. And I never forget, her name was Catherine Gideon. Shout out to Catherine Gideon if you're listening. I hope you learned something from the Queen. But I remember her last name because it's a book in the Bible, Gideon. But nonetheless, she was a nice young lady, but she came up to me one day when I was leaving. And I think this, like I said, was my second time working there at this point. And so she gave me her number and she asked for my number. And I gave it to her. I didn't really know why she was asking, but I'm always a friendly person. And so I gave it to her. And so she called me one day. She was just telling me this sad, sad story that the Queen didn't have time to hear. She was telling me this sad story, and I promise you, I was in such an upbeat, good, positive mood that day. Everything was going right. I was doing good, and I was so ecstatic. Until she called me with this downtrodden story, oh, woe is me. But me being the nice person that I am, I listened to her complaints, and then I started giving her solutions, telling her what I thought she should or could do to make the situation better. And then she called me again about a week later, telling me another sad, sad story, bringing me down because I was all upbeat at this point too, because I'm usually upbeat. Has to be something drastic for me to be downtrodden. But nonetheless, she's telling me this sad, sad story again. So then again, I give her the best advice that I can give her, analyze the situation, try to give her solutions. Because I'm a firm believer in the fact that we shouldn't complain constantly about our problems. Rather than complaining about them all the time, we need to be finding solutions. I don't need excuses. I need solutions. So I gave her solutions, right? Well, then she called me again later on that week. Another sad story. Now, at this point, I'm annoyed because you're bringing me down, okay? Alexa, play Don't Bring Me Down by Annie Lennox. So she was telling me this sad story. And so I listened. And so when she was done, Kathy B said she only wanted to vent. Oh, that seems about the size of it. So she's telling me this little sad story. And when she's done, then I say, let me put Hundia's comment up here so I can read it in a minute. So then I listened intently. And then so I gave her whatever advice I could. But then I told her, I said, listen, I said, you are always so negative. Every time you call me, you're always talking down on yourself. Then you tell me that your children's father talks down on you. I wonder why. You talk down on yourself. I said, now at first, I thought you were just having a bad day. Or maybe you were just doubting yourself. So I tried to encourage you, give you words of encouragement and try to motivate you and help you find a solution. Then you called me the next time. You did the same thing. And now you call me today doing the same thing. I said, listen, I'm a positive, upbeat person. And I don't mesh well with negative people and negativity, period. So what I want you to do is please don't call me again until you have something positive to say about yourself. And so she didn't call me again for about 3 weeks. And then when she did call me, she was like, oh, hey, how you doing? She was upbeat. She didn't say any of that foolishness. But you know what it is about people like that? Let me tell you something. Like Kathy B said, she likely wanted to vent. But sometimes when people do that, you know what it is? They see the light in you. They see the positivity spewing from you. It's illuminated all around your aura. And some people can see your auras. Somebody told me a couple of weeks ago when I was at the post office, they told me, the young lady asked me, do you do spiritual readings? Didn't I tell you all this? And I looked at her first and said, don't be offended by what I'm about to ask you. And I said, go ahead. Because I'm thinking, girl, you can't offend me. I don't even know you. Please pay attention. So then she says, but do you do spiritual readings? And I started laughing. And I said, yes. I said, why would you ask me that? She said, I could see it on your aura. And then she said she could smell my aura and she could see it. Well, I don't know. I never smelled my own aura, but I'm sure it smells like roses nonetheless. Please pay attention. But so anyway, she assessed that. And so can nefarious people. You see, that girl was calling me with all them sad stories because she was feeding off of my energy. She was a psyche vampire is all I'm saying. Psyche vampires, they drain you of your very energy source. That's what they do. They call you and they dump all of their BS on you. They want to vent and give you all this negative energy. That's what they want to do. And so that just makes your energy low. That lowers your energy. And so when she called me the last time or the next time, she was talking like she had some sense. That's all I'm saying. Hudia says, it's one thing about me. Another person said story will not affect my mood. Because once I hang up that phone, they on their own. That's a good way to be, beloved. But here's the thing. Here's the problem with somebody like me. You see, I'm an empath. And some people can tell that. I'm an empath. So I tend to absorb other people's energy. I can't help it. I tend to absorb other people's energy. And that's why I'm very careful of whom I give my energy to. Because you start telling me a sad story, well, I'm going to feel compelled to listen and try to help you. Because that's just how I am. And if the story's sad enough, I'm going to feel sad. Because that's just how I am. And so that's what was happening. And that's why I'm like, okay, she can't keep calling me, telling me all this stuff. Because this stuff is just really, it's just making me feel down. And I don't want to feel down. Like she's taking my energy. And so that's how that goes. That's how that goes. And so moving right along. So like I was saying, evolution requires a sacrifice. You must let go of your current self so that you can become your new self, your best self, the best version of you. And you have to let go of anything or anyone that's stopping you from becoming the best version of you. Now, the last thing is, the calmer you are, the clearer your thinking becomes. Remaining conscious with your decisions will allow you to align yourself to the purpose of your character. Now, that's very important because here's the thing. When we get angry, because we all get angry sometimes, probably takes a lot for me to get angry. But when we get angry, you don't think rationally sometimes or logically. That's how people end up in prison. Because somebody makes them so mad and they're not thinking clearly that, hey, if I do this, I'm going to jail. They don't think about that. They just lash out and react. They always, just lash out. Some people can't control their emotions or their tempers. And so that's not good. Of course, they have issues and problems with those things. They allow things and situations and even people to take them off of their square. Okay? And it's good to be calm. Because when you're actually calm, you can assess a situation and think logically and rationally and say, you know what? I'm not even going to do this with you. I'm not trying to throw rocks at the penitentiary. That's all I'm saying. Let me give you all an example. Do you all remember when Angel Love? You all remember when Angel Love came on my channel? for that interview when I was exposing Vicky Dillard, aka Wig number 1. And she said that she saw me at the premiere of this documentary. And she said that when she saw me there, she was going to confront me. Girl, bye. She said she was going to confront me because she knew that Wig didn't like me. Because Wig told her that I was a hater. But then later she said, when she asked Wig, how was I a hater? Wig never had an answer. Well, she never had an answer because I'm not a hater. I'm a congratulator. Please pay attention. But nonetheless, she was going to come up to me, a person that she didn't even know, and confront me because Wig don't like me. She said she was sitting right behind me or beside me or something. I think she was sitting behind me. Now, mind you, I didn't know who she was. I never had seen her. I didn't know who she was. And we know this is how Angel Love was about Vicky, because she used to get in Michi's chats and talk slick to Michi, because Michi and Vicky don't get along. So what's she doing? Going around trying to fight Wig's battles? But anyway, I digress. But you all remember that she told me on the live that when she saw me at that premiere, she was going to confront me about not dealing with Wig. And she said she called Wig and she said she took a picture of me or a video or something, and she sent it to Wig and said, is this the one you're talking about? And Wig said, yeah. And then she said that the only reason she didn't confront me is because the guy that was with her told her not to. I said, girl, he did you a favor. Because what did she think was going to happen? Girl, that's what you don't want to do, okay? That's what you don't want to do. Yes, she did. Kathy said, no, she didn't. Yes, she did, honey. Claudette said, I remember that. Yes. Nita Tomatsware said she was going to get a beat down. Yes, she was. I promise you. I promise you. Now, I don't like to be out squabbling in public. Back in the day, in my younger days, of course, I didn't have a problem with it. I'd throw my stuff down real quick. Let's get into it. But here's the thing. Depending upon how she confronted me, like if she just came up and asked me, well, why you don't like Wig or something like that, I'd be like, girl, who the hell are you? Wig's bodyguard? And I would have just roasted her and told her off. But if she tried to get jazzy, like she want to throw them hands, baby. And I told her on the live, I said, girl, you would have got a beat down, okay? And I was with my friend too, my best friend, Alicia, my other best friend. Child, you would have got beat down, that's all I'm saying. You got beat down, that's all I'm saying. I told her, well, thank God he told you not to do it. She did send him a bouquet of roses, is all I'm saying. She needed to send him a bouquet of roses as far as I was concerned, because, honey, he saved you from a whole earth whooping. Because one thing about it, I'm going to tell you this. One thing about me is I have never, since I was a kid, I have never liked being confronted. I never like being confronted. Now, if somebody wants to come ask me something, that's different. What I call a confrontation is when somebody comes up to you with all the smoke. Like they got the smoke in them. Like they got this super amped up energy. No, I never like that. I promise you that's never going to turn out good. It's just not. It's just not going to turn out good, that's all I'm saying. And I don't know if Angel Love knew this at the time, but girl, I know Taekwondo is all I'm saying. Okay, I can throw these hands because I used to box, and I know Taekwondo. So all I'm saying is, you would have got to beat down real quick. You would have got to beat down real quick. So all I'm saying. Reggie said a 2-piece and a biscuit. Okay. Reggie said confront your husband or wife, your kids, but not me. I know that's right. Honey, try Jesus. Don't try the queen. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right. Anyway. And then pay attention. Do you all know how many people were there from YouTube? How many? Because we were actually at Tariq Nasheed's buck breaking documentary. That's before I started exposing him and stopped following him and all that stuff. But that's where we were. That's where we were. And you think you're about to try to confront me and embarrass me in front of all these subscribers? Girl, you would have been doing yourself a pure injustice. Okay? That would have gone viral. I promise you that would have gone viral because I know they would have recorded that real quick. And I just got through taking pictures with Rizla Islam for the Nation of Rizla Islam for the Nation of Islam. Girl, now you're gonna make me act ghetto? Well, that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is don't make me have to get ghetto because you know I will. I've told y'all that before. Now I try to stay on my throne, but if you make me get ghetto, well, I'm gonna make it worth my while. That's all I'm saying. Now let's get on with the trivia. Y'all know I don't condone violence. Claudette said hands and feet. Aboriginal woman said, if those heels couldn't embarrass you, I know she couldn't queen. No, you are low down Aboriginal queen. Aboriginal queen said, if those heels couldn't embarrass you, queen, I know she couldn't. Do you all remember? She's talking about the story I told you all. Do you all remember that story I told you guys on the other channel when I was at the World Congress Center when they were having a car and bike show? And I had been there for about 9 hours because my son wanted so desperately to see T.I. And they would make T.I. like the last one to come out. Okay, and I had on those shoes. Remember those glass shoes that I showed you all that I customized myself with the 6-inch heels and the Swarovski crystals? I thought I was doing it. Walk around on concrete floors, no chairs for you to sit in all day for 9 whole hours. By the time we got ready to leave, my feet were through. My feet was like, girl, I don't know where you think you go, but we out. Walk out into the lobby to leave. All these men sitting there on the couches just talking. And what did I do? Fall. My feet literally gave out and I just fell flat on my back. I just fell flat on my back and I tried to act like I was dead. I was so embarrassed. I closed my eyes and laid there. These guys came and scooped me up. They're like, are you all right, sweetie? You okay? Rex said the dogs was barking. Yes. Yes. Rex said on Saturday, so honey, it was so. Okay? It was absolutely so. And I laid there, honey. See, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do to keep anybody from laughing because they know they want to laugh, right? You just lay there. Like you just dead, honey. And they was like, are you okay? What happened? I said, I think I must have fainted. Knowing good darn well I didn't faint. Them shoes took me out. Randy said he'd have died too or started doing push-ups. Y'all are so nefarious. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now let me get to the trivia of it all. So what am I going to do the trivia on today? Let me find a topic. Now we've had the music. We had movies. We had flowers yesterday. And so what are we going to do? And then we had crystals too. What are not the kind you eat, but stones and crystals, for those of you who missed it. So hold on. Let me find a topic for the questions. Okay, I think I'm going to do, let me pull up my email and pay attention. Hundia just put the email in the chat that you should send the answers to. Please, no answers in the chat, beloveds. No answers in the chat, okay? So let's get into it. So I think I'm going to do U.S. presidents. U.S. presidents for 500, please, Alex. Okay. And here here we go. All right. I'm going to ask the question, and then you will have 30 seconds to get those answers in. And whoever gets the correct answer in the quickest is the winner. Let me pull up the stopwatch. 30 seconds on the clock, and the clock starts as soon as I say the question. All right, let me see where I'm going to go. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go, people. Pay attention. The question is, which of the first 12 presidents was the first to not own slaves? Which of the first 12 presidents was the one to not own slaves? The first one to not own slaves. Clock starts right now. You got 30 seconds. Answers sent to the root of all evil 227 at gmail.com. $15 seconds left, beloveds. $10 seconds. All right, we got a winner. We got a winner. And the winner is Reggie. The winner is Reggie. The answer is John Adams. Congratulations, Reggie. I'm about to send you your ebook. John Adams. First of the first 12 presidents to not own slaves. John Adams. Get ready for the next question. Okay, daily prayers and meditations for your royal spirit on its way to you. Beloved, add. All right, so you are ready for the next. So let's get ready for the next question. So here it is. Listen to look at Buckhorst DC. Buckhorst DC said, "You sure it wasn't Lincoln?" No. Lincoln freed the slaves. So if he freed the slaves, what does that mean, Buckhorst DC? That means that he had slaves before he freed them. Prior to him freeing them, there were slaves. So of course he had some. All right, so now let's go to the next question. Which president was the last to own slaves? Y'all don't get this one wrong. I already see it coming. Which president was the last one to own slaves? 30 seconds on the clock. Buckhorst DC said, "I went to Adams Elementary, Queen. I swear I didn't know that." I know you didn't, because they're not going to tell us that. They're not going to tell you which one of the presidents didn't own slaves back then. 10 seconds on the clock, beloveds. Let me see what you all have. I am through. Hold on. I am so through. I'm not even going to say no names or who this is, but somebody is clearly nefarious, and they sent the answer Nixon. Nixon was the last president to own a slave. Nixon was the president in the 60s. gonna say who sent me that answer, but they need to sit all the way down. I'm through. I am literally through. I knew everybody was gonna get this one wrong. You know, I knew that you all were gonna say Abe Lincoln. No, no. It was actually Ulysses S. Grant. Ulysses S. Grant was the last one to own slaves. Okay? Now, I mean, you would think that it would have been Lincoln because that just makes sense, right? But no, it was Ulysses S. Grant. All right, so get ready for the third question. We didn't have a winner that round. Now, you all should definitely know this. This one's too easy. Who is the oldest living president? 30 seconds. Who's the oldest living president? And I'll give you a clue. I used to work for him. Technically, I still do, but you got 10 seconds, beloved ads. No answers in the chat, Hundia. How you gonna make the rules and break them? Okay, let me see what you all got. Jane is the winner. Jane said it first. Jimmy Carter. That's the winner. Jimmy Carter. Okay? Congratulations, Jane. Congratulations. One copy of Daily Prayers and Meditations for Your Royal Spirit coming through. All right. So one more question. Kathy B said she knew that one too. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mr. Carter is about, his birthday's October the 1st. I think he's like 96. Let me double check. '99. Woo. President Carter is 99 years old. Yeah, his wife, she passed away. Yeah, she did. She passed away. Let me just tell you all a fun fact about Mr. Carter. I don't know if I told you guys this before, but so let me just tell you all this, okay? Because y'all think I'm playing. I used to work for Mr. Carter, seriously. Technically, like I said, I still do. But here's the thing. Mr. Carter grew up in Plains, Georgia. So his family, they had these black people that worked for them. And the people lived on the land with them. Now, with that all being said, Mr. Carter's best friend was the son of the black people who lived on the land, who worked for them, right? They used to eat dinner together. You know, they were like a little family or whatever. But nonetheless, the son was his best friend. So, you know, with segregation, it was Jim Crow, back when he was growing up, of course. And so they went to the movie theater. And, of course, the black people couldn't sit with the white folk. And so they both had to sit separately at the theater, and they weren't able to talk about the movie and, you know, enjoy the movie together. But they weren't able to talk about it until after the movie was over. Now, think about that. Okay? And that's a story that I would tell. I mean, there's other stories, but that's one of the stories that I would tell to the kids when they would come to the museum, you know, for field trips and stuff. And I would show them his artifacts in there and stuff, or not really artifacts, but, you know, his some of the things from when he was a baby, when he was a kid, little things like that. They have that in there. They have signs from Jim Crow and all of those things. And I would show them that and just talk to them about how things were at that time. And that was the story I used to always tell them. So, 99 years old. Whew. That's a blessed life when you can live to be that old, okay? I hope I make it to 99 or 100, okay? Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, also did a peanut farm. He had a peanut farm or something, says Jane. Yes. Yes, the family owned a peanut farm. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So, with that all being said, was that the fourth question? I think that was the fourth question, right? Or was that the third question? Was that the third question or the fourth? I'm going to ask y'all one more question nonetheless. I'm going to give y'all one more shot. One more shot. This was not going to be about presidents. This one just popped in my head. This was not going to be about presidents. Here's the last and final question for the day. I'm sorry, say what? Songs from the 80s is what this question pertains to. Songs from the 80s. Now remember, you guys totally screwed up the other day with Hotel California by the Eagles, Southern rock group. I don't know how y'all missed that. But anyway, what is the name of the lead singer from one of my favorite rock groups called Queen? What is the name? Well, he's dead now, but what was the name of the lead singer of the rock group Queen? 30 seconds on the clock. 30 seconds. Let's see what y'all got. Don't try to Google. Don't try to Google, because I know some of y'all think y'all slick. Think y'all slick. 10 seconds. 10. Y'all got 3 seconds left. But of course, DC said, the hell if I know. Time's up. And I even gave you an extra 4 seconds. What? Nobody got the answer. At least not on time. Hold on, somebody did get the answer. I'm sorry, beloved. Kikoba Fett got the right answer. Freddie Mercury. Exactly. Congratulations, beloved. I'm about to see this ebook. I almost missed that. Oops, forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I have to call them back in just a second. So congratulations, beloved. Daily prayers and meditations for your royal spirit on its way to you. All right. Reggie talking about his answer is on the way. Too late, Reggie. Too late. All right. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you had fun, because I did. All right. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, because we're going to be going live on this channel again at about maybe 2:30. Okay. So listen, I love you all to life. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives.